Hello, Soto.
Hi, Rebecca. How you doing, mate?
You're hyper.
Yeah, of course I'm hyper. Why shouldn't I be? I'm on my favourite programme.
We've just done some star jumps, didn't we, Soto?
Yes. Well, let me just say that I want to say we are two peas in a podcast. Okay?
Two peas in a podcast.
Cast. I had to say that because I just had to say it.
Yeah, that's
right?
Soto all
That's
over.
done. All right. So, anyway.
Hi and welcome to the Swan and Soto Show, your new week driving test centre gossip podcast. Every week we shall bring you lots of this, come here boy, and this,
Don't lose your word.
I'm
Try
trying
and find it.
And a little bit of this.
It will be in the dictionary very soon. Don't you worry about that.
Do you reckon?
Yes.
Join us every week as we share and delve into the lives of us driving instructors and what really happens at the driving test centre.
Yeah. Sorry, I interrupted.
I've just been told off for parking on some bulbs.
Well, you know, it depends what kind of bulbs there were. The light bulbs or electric
There were
bulbs
daffodil bulbs opposite your house.
Yeah, I know.
So I've just upset one of Soto's neighbours.
He's a good man, really. He's just a
He just likes his daffodils.
He does, yes. Men do like many things.
Right, okay, Soto. So why have we got the giggles?
I don't know. I think we're just all kind of excited.
How are you getting on with this cold weather?
Freezingly well. I haven't said any bad words yet, so I'm doing well.
No, so how's the snow? The threat of snow?
Well, you know, last week it threatened and the week before it threatened, and I think we had some.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
especially on the 30th of January.
The 1st of February, actually.
Well, 31st of January.
The night of the 31st.
The night of the 31st to the 1st of February, yes.
But the bulk of it will be on the 1st.
Well, anyway, in that time. Okay, I had to cancel a few pupils, but I didn't want
it's the whole... So if many people don't realise what happens is if you need to join Twitter and find your local test centre, because I didn't actually notice the other day until on Facebook.
Uh-huh.
So if you want to know if your test centre's closed, then you need to get onto Twitter.
That's right.
Just search Driving Standards Agency Bedford or Kettering or wherever your driving test centre is, hashtag it, and you should be able to see any updates. So the only thing I find with the weather, Soto, is that if it snows and you've got an 8 o'clock test, what happens, because the examiners don't get into the test centre till like 7:50 in the morning.
If they can get there in the first place.
If they can get there. So as instructors, do we have to turn up at the test centre? What's your view on that?
Well, from my best friend and also my instructor, Kenny Lawrence, he really persuaded me you have to go to the test centre, hell or high water, as they say, you know. Because
keep a shovel in your car, people, because at the end of the day, if you're snowed in, you still can't get your ass over there.
Yeah, exactly. Now, there's this twitter.com DVSA help me. Okay, so you can check on that if you want as well, because they usually...
Oh, okay, I didn't know about this website, so that's a good bit of information.
Yeah, so they just click onto that and they'll find you on your test centre if it's open or closed.
Open or closed,
yep.
And the phone number for your test centre, obviously they don't publicly display it, but it will be on your test booking email, so do check that out or ask your driving instructor for the information.
Yes, I've got the number.
Obviously, conversing with your instructor is quite important because they will be taking you to your test.
Yes, you have to drive my car. Let's not go there. Okay.
Oh dear. Anyway, so that's kind of weather cover. So last week's podcast show, how well did you think you did with the B word?
I reckon I smashed it, I think.
Do you think you smashed it?
Yeah, I did. I'm not saying any more B's and T's and F's. So, yeah.
So, Soto is on the... so, if anyone who's not listened to previous podcasts, he got told off for swearing and saying a particular word beginning with B.
Blooming flowers.
And ending in Y.
Yes.
And
blooming flowery.
The bulk of the word is what runs through your veins. So, if you're not quite sure...
It's usually red.
So we're continuing with the theme of whether Soto is going to slip up and use the B word. And if he does, instead of bleeping out the B word, when we come to edit, we are going to play this.
Oh, he's a good boy.
Yes, I fully agree.
But we didn't get many in last week, did we? So
let's...
I actually want you to slip up. But this now, would be funny.
Because I'm consciously thinking about it, I think I'm unconsciously not going to do it. Did I say that all right or wrong? It doesn't matter. Anyway.
I do need to explain that the chap who's given me permission to use this, he had a bit of an obsession with dogs. And so much so, he called his own dog Corbin. So when he's out walking the dog, he's going, Corbin, come here, Lily boy. Every time he's on a driving lesson, he's actually shouting out the window, "There's a doggy! Oh, good little boy, yeah."
Oh, dear me.
Every single time.
Really?
And honestly, I never had so many giggles in all of my life. So we will do a future podcast show on the silly habits of learner drivers and what they get obsessed about it when they're driving along on the road. I'm sure we'll have a funny show there.
Definitely.
Right, so today we are mainly going to be talking about
Elderly or youngerly or
elderly,
I
youngly.
don't know. Middly.
We're talking about older.
Yeah,
we're talking about older drivers.
Is it right? Is the word old good? I don't know how.
Less young.
Okay,
The elderly.
little bit.
What is politically correct? Maybe you can hashtag us on Twitter.
Please, yeah.
Because we need to get some followers on Twitter. We've only got like 2.
Oh, don't worry. We get 3.
You need to follow us
soon.
on Twitter and get out there.
All
so
right.
if you have a better, more appropriate word than older drivers, then just give us a shout and we'll use that in our following language in future podcast shows.
Yes. So young Prince Phillip.
Young man Prince Phillip, who is 97 years old.
Yes,
and he's still driving, good old chap.
Yep.
But what
Good
happened?
young chap. What happened? Well, unfortunately, he was at a T-junction.
He was.
Entering a 60 zone road.
Yeah.
Okay. And actually now it's 50. It suddenly changed after his accident. Would you believe? What a surprise.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, he pulled out and in front of a car and the car hit him on the side and he turned over. To the side. He flipped him to the side. Okay. He said that the sun was in his eyes so he couldn't see well. All right.
Oh, dear.
So he's the main cause of the accident.
Yeah.
Now, the woman who was driving had a broken arm and there was a 7-month-old child in the back as well. So, it could have killed them. Not a good topic, really.
Not a good topic. Not great PR for the royal family either, is it?
No, it's not.
But it is actually quite topical, really. So, obviously, we thought we would, address older drivers on the podcast show, on your Swan and Soto show. So, what do you think about older drivers? Now, at the moment, at 70 years old, they have to kind of reapply for their driving license, don't they?
Yeah, it's every 3 years, isn't it?
It's I think it's every 3 years. I will check this, and
all right.
Any changes on the facts, then we will post on our Facebook and Twitter.
Right. Well, I had a 68-year-old young lady. It was about probably 3 years ago when I was working with BSM.
Yeah.
So I turned up to her house. And she said, "Come in, young man, come in." So I'm having a cup of tea with this young lady. All right, okay. Bless her. She told me that she had a hip operation.
Yeah.
And she was scared to drive again.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why they asked, So off we went. Mate, she was blooming good.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Better than myself, I would say. She was very observant, very careful driver. I can't see why she was scared. Right?
No.
She did well.
Yeah.
But is that 1 out of 10 good elderly drivers? Or is it...
Well, we don't know, do we? My mother actually turned 70 a year ago and she had to reapply for her licence. And she just kind of filled out the forms and said her health has not really changed. And, she drives with glasses, etc., etc. And that was it. So they come back and she's been fine. But she doesn't really like driving. Doesn't help that my brother ended up changing a car to a big 4x4 Range Rover, so she feels like a little lost lamb in it. But families and all that. But yeah, so she's quite a nervous driver as well. She don't drive as much nowadays. So we have got some interviews of motorists because sometimes the attitudes of drivers and the elderly can become quite irate, can't it?
Yes.
So. Especially on country lanes when the classic saying the Sunday driver, granddad driver style driving, then obviously here's a few interviews of general motorists and their opinions on older drivers and maybe what can be done to kind of support them on the roads, really. Hi, Jamie. What's your opinion on older drivers?
I think that there's a certain point where when their senses start to get impaired, so their vision and their hearing, that they should be reassessed for driving just to make sure that they are safe when they are driving.
Do you think there should be an upper limit as to when everybody should stop or hand over their driving licence like Prince Phillip has?
I think maybe, yes, I do agree with that, but I wouldn't necessarily be able to put an age to it because I'm not very familiar with what actually happens when they get to that age or
And what about, some people have mentioned about when you get to a certain age, putting like P plates on your car or something to warrant your age or your certain kind of age bracket. Do you think that's fair?
I think that we have a similar thing when people just pass as well. So I think that yes, they can indicate that, you know, they might have delayed reactions and such, but theirs are going to get worse, whereas learners who have just passed are going to hopefully get better. So I think that there needs to be something more distinctive to differentiate between those two different things.
Hiya.
Hi.
So what do you think about Prince Phillip and his accident?
I think I'm sorry for him to have the accident to begin with. It's just been pointed out to me that he is 97 years old. So the fact that he had his driving license taken away from him.
He's actually handed his license voluntarily,
and so it wasn't snatched from him. But yeah, so I think that was good of him to do so, because I think it's worth checking over at that age that they're still capable. But yeah, I'm sorry that it happened, really, and he'll be fine. he has friends and stuff to get around, so he'll be okay.
What do you think about older drivers in general? Do you think the current system works, or do you think that more can be done to kind of monitor the situation? Or
yeah, it's interesting you said they were monitored. I think that at the moment the system does work, because I don't think it's possible to really police all older drivers, and actually in general I think most are more than capable than the next person in terms of driving. Yeah, I think in terms of like, if you were to point out you're an older driver by a badge on the car as you're driving down the road, like I think that immediately just puts them in another suit to the rest of the world, and it's not necessarily fair, because to say that they're less capable, just as a generalisation, I don't think is true anyway. So
what do you think about that then, Soto? So do you think that older drivers should have more training or be retested, or maybe even have like a display badge on their car? You know, I mean,
yeah, I know. Well, I got my opinion, but it might be a bit silly, but
yeah.
I don't think it could be. Maybe every 3 years or every 4 years, every driver should have a retest, but not to fail, just to go through it again and remember what they learned in the past.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how old you are.
No. Okay.
Yeah,
So
from that age onwards, once you pass. That's what I'm thinking of.
I think that sometimes the problem with elderly drivers, I don't think they realise their reaction times.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's not something that you can really measure, is it, until you're actually needed. Well, there was actually a story it was actually last summer. I was out filming with my son, and we were on this A road, a single carriageway road. It was a 60 limit, and there were 3 cars ahead of us. And from behind us, a chap decides to overtake all 4 cars. As he's overtaking the final car, there's an oncoming car. So you can imagine he had to swerve to the left.
Yes.
He narrowly missed this car.
Right.
Anyway, the whole kind of road come to a standstill, and he ended up on the verge of the A road. Well, anyway, he got out the car, and the first 2 lead cars just drove on. Obviously, I had to immediately stop behind this lady.
Yeah.
And anyway, the guy who was overtaken, he went up to this lady's car, and there was kind of a bit of tension going on, so I could kind of see through the windows that she was an older driver. And so I thought, well, he's quite a young kind of, you know, quite a dominating looking character, so I did get out of the car and go and kind of see if she was okay, and she was a bit shaken up. Anyway, on arrival there, her name was Doris, and she was actually 92 years old.
My goodness.
Now, I actually couldn't believe. So obviously we calmed her down and everything was fine. Obviously nobody actually hit any of the cars. There wasn't actually an accident, but then the near miss was so near an accident. It was quite scary.
It felt like it was an accident.
Yeah, so she would have been obviously shook up and emotional. But she did say to me that she was only driving. She only goes out on a Sunday just to keep up with the driving skills. And I was so impressed with her kind of attitude to road safety and her responsibility as a driver. She actually asked for a driving lesson. So that's what happened, and we swapped numbers, and you know, the rest is history. But you know, at the end of the day, she was sensible, and she didn't, you know, she wanted to keep up with the practice, and she actually asked for some. So when I kind of asked on Facebook whether other instructors have taught anyone in the 90s, some people coming back saying that their insurance policy didn't actually allow them to teach older drivers.
Oh, I see.
So it kind of raised a lot of questions and stuff. So obviously I had to go and do a bit of research, and when I did actually phone my cover, which is Waveney, driving instructor insurance, they actually did confirm that this particular policy, because they had to ask the underwriters of the policy, they did state that there was no upper limit of who I could teach on the road, but people 65 plus were not covered for personal accident.
That's weird.
Well, that's a bit kind of it's kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? It's
ironic.
It's
Don't lose your word.
I'm trying to find it.
Come on. How can I help you with this one?
It
does it begin with P?
when they're being age discrimination.
Aha.
Right.
Okay. It doesn't begin with P. It begins with D.
It's age discrimination. So
yes, D.
if there's no upper limit, then obviously, you know, why would they not get personal accident cover if they were involved in an accident on a driving lesson?
As simple as that, really.
So what do you think about that? Do you mean
I reckon they should not have any discrimination on any age or actually colour and so on and so on. You know how it goes, but yeah.
Well, they brought it in with learner drivers, didn't they? Boys and girls. They kind of the gender thing, the gender discrimination against boys.
That was silly as well. Yeah.
And that was based on a European member of Parliament who believed that it was unfair that her son was actually not being treated fairly and being gender specific, and because it's just, and that's why they got rid of that.
Anyway,
but. It is an interesting topic. So what do you think about that? Do you think that older drivers, A, should be on the road? How do you think they should be monitored? And do you think that there should be an upper limit where they can't possibly drive anymore? What would the age be?
Yeah.
So if you can give us a shout out at Twitter or in Instagram, Facebook, or you can email us at swanandsotoshow@gmail.com. We look forward to obviously hearing and receiving these answers and replies from yourself.
Yes.
Right, so we also want to discuss. So basically, me and Soto are very excited about this kind of part of the podcast.
Can't wait!
We can't wait. So a couple of podcasts ago, we were mentioning about learners on the motorway. We had a brief conversation about. So basically, what me and Soto have been up to. We are trying to find learners on the motorway.
Yeah.
And we can't.
I know. It's weird, isn't it?
It's really, really weird.
Yeah.
So me and Soto have come up with a plan.
Plan A.
And the plan is this.
Sorry, interruption.
So, we are going to set up a Learners on the Motorway Spotters Club.
Yes.
And I bet you're thinking, what the hell are you talking about?
Finding some spots. No.
So, we obviously want to encourage learner drivers to go out there driving instructors on the motorway. So, to build this awareness, we are going to start our own Spot the Learners on the Motorway.
Yes.
And me and Soto are the founding members. However, there's a little bit of a glitch. Uh-oh. We have to gain membership of our own club first before anyone else can join.
Yeah.
So we have set ourselves a challenge.
Right.
We're going to pick 5 motorways.
Okay.
And 5 days.
Oh, dear me.
And we're going to find a place to perch.
What if it's cold?
Well, gloves, hats, normal stuff that you... Flask. Oh, we'll be laughing. Don't you worry about that. You'll be nice and warm.
All right, okay.
So we're going to take our binoculars, sit on our deck chairs, and we're going to actually try
like
and find...
Like, we're going to be like train spotters, but... Actually, I've got the word for it. We will be spoting.
Spoting.
That's my word for
That's
it.
Soto's word.
Spoting, meaning look for the learner on the motorway.
On the
Spoting.
driveway.
Not the driveway, no. Spoting. S-P-O-T-I-N-G.
Okay.
Oh, 2 T's, actually.
Spooting.
No, spoting.
Spoting.
Not spooting.
Anyway, we're going off topic right now.
All right, let's get back onto the topic. So, back onto the motorway. Yep.
So, this is what's going to happen. So, we're going to try and spot and then take a picture of the driving school car on the motorway.
Spoting.
And if we can get a picture with 2 people in the car, even better, because that actually proves that there may be a learner in that vehicle.
Yeah.
So once we find a learner on the motorway, the rules of the club is that you can now join our exclusive Facebook group club.
Yeah.
All members of the club will get a car sticker saying...
Spoting.
Not spoting.
Sorry.
I'm a proud member of Spotting the Learner on the Motorway Spotters Club.
Hold on a second. That's a bit too long, isn't it?
Is it?
Maybe.
Do we need to shorten it down a bit?
Too spoting. I know. It sounds like weird.
I understand you understand what it means, but I don't think the general public are going to understand.
It will be in the dictionary very soon. Don't you worry about that.
Do you reckon?
Yes,
Should we
spoting.
get it into
Yes, I do.
the dictionary on the
By Soto. Anyway, All right, because it is quite long if you think about it. Try and shorten it, maybe.
Yeah,
but-
well, we'll think of
All
the
right.
name. Obviously,
All right.
this is all in there because basically,
Yeah.
do you know Eddie Stobart?
Yes.
They have a spotters club. Did you know that?
It's not called Spoting, is it?
No, it's not called Spoting.
Good. Okay. And?
So, well, basically, it sounds pretty damn awesome. So they actually have a kids club. It's called Steady Eddie Kids Club.
All right.
Yeah, and there's a monthly membership, so we can actually start a new business here right now. We can start and promote road safety learners on the motorway club
Spoting.
and charge a membership. Obviously, we're not going to do
No,
that until we get some people
obviously
in the club.
not. Obviously not. But yeah, that's a good
But if you
idea.
head over to, basically what Eddie Stobart did to build their brand and to change the perception of the haulage industry, they kind of made it into a fun, kind of dynamic Eddie Stobart Spotters Club. So, you know, there's probably about 5,000 Eddie Stobart lorries and there's probably about 40,000 members
it's true.
in their group.
Seen plenty of
Now,
them.
if you head over to their website, so as one chap was interviewed, he mentioned that he's an active club member of the Eddie Stobart Spotters Club ever since he was 12. And, you know, when his family used to go on long motorway journeys, they used to use it as a game to spot Eddie Stobart lorries and number plates.
Yes.
So it kind of become like a bit of a fun kind of family tradition. So mother, sister and grandmother are all also members. And this is his words. This is actually taken off the BBC website. My nan's was Beryl Patricia.
Oh, okay.
No, basically his grandmother got her name on an Eddie Stobart truck.
Oh, right.
She won her name a place.
Uh-huh.
So did his sister, Glenda Ann, and my sister's truck.
Right.
Emma Victoria is on the roads today.
Ah.
So not only do you get to join other trucking enthusiasts, you also get to maybe win a chance to have a day out with a trucker and your name on the side of the cab.
Yeah.
So you can name the cabs.
Okay.
Apparently. They do also have a shop. So in this shop they have lots of things where they weekly online fleet updates.
Okay.
They get access to magazines.
Lovely.
They get a Christmas calendar at Christmas.
Wow.
And obviously the opportunity to name a truck. How awesome is this?
That is awesome.
On joining, you will also receive a pack that includes current fleet list of all the trucks,
Okay.
current edition of Spot On, catalogue, a lapel badge, a car sticker, a membership card, access to the members area and all of the benefits.
Right.
Not only that, you get discounts and exclusive leisure on things like travel insurance, UK airport parking, car hire, airport transports and transfers.
Yeah, that one.
Tickets to both UK and world attractions. So obviously I'm a bit green-eyed envy of the Eddie Stobart.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
this is what's going to happen. So me and Soto would love to spot a learner on the motorway.
Yes.
And we've got 5 motorways in 5 days
Yes.
to do this.
I still like the word spoting.
Now, if the worst comes to it and we don't actually spot a learner on the motorway, this is what mine and Soto's backup plan is going to be.
Plan B.
Soto is going to get his learner school car
Yes.
with the roof sign
Yes.
and go down on the slip road of the motorway.
I just watch it go by itself.
I'm going to take the picture from the
Okay.
bridge
Yes.
or the side of the road where
Yeah,
I can
well,
try and get a picture.
Yeah.
And that gives me guaranteed access into the club.
Yes.
Soto is then going to take a picture of me on the motorway, and that
Hopefully
gives...
I don't miss you. What if I miss you?
Well, then you don't get to join your own club.
Oh, that's bugger, isn't it?
It is a bit of a
Bugger.
That's a different word, maybe.
Okay.
We'll
Blooming
still
good.
bleep that one out.
Oh, he's a good boy.
So
Alright.
these are Swan and Soto's terms and conditions of Spot the Learner on the Motorway Club.
Yes.
You must submit a valid picture of a driving school car on the motorway. A valid picture is a driving school car with a top box and L plates on a motorway. The picture owner gains automatic rights to join the club,
Yes.
plus the driving school in the picture,
Yes.
which we will obviously contact.
Obviously.
The bonus is if the picture has 2 people in it, you'll receive a surprise bonus.
Yes.
Obviously, we ain't worked out what that bonus
Oh,
is, but
okay.
we're still in kind of
All right.
configuring stage. We just thought we'd
Okay.
share it with you today.
Good idea.
So, the benefits of joining the club: access to the Facebook group.
Yep.
So that means direct access to me and Soto.
Yes.
Fun and games in a secret group. That's awesome, isn't it?
That is mega awesome.
I think that's a really good part of the group. So free membership and competitions. These can include winning a driving lesson on the motorway once a month.
Yes.
So we'll be giving out free motorway lessons.
Of course.
To join, you must be passionate about road safety.
Yeah, definitely passionate. Bring your parent with
and
you.
a learner's picture on the motorway.
Yes.
Membership is only open to anyone, not just learners on the motorway.
Good.
You may even win at some point when we get to 1,000 members. Like Eddie Stober, have someone your chosen name on a certain car. Because you have to have the sticker on the car, and then you can have a name on it as well. I don't know. Loads of things.
Whose car's going to be? Mine or yours?
We can take it out of the hat, that one.
That's a pulling out the hat job, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Abracadabra stuff.
Yeah, me like that very much.
All pictures must be taken from the passenger seat or the back seat of a car.
Hold on. Repeat that, please. All pictures to gain access to the spotters on the learners on the motorway group. Yeah.
All pictures must be taken from the passenger seat.
From the passenger seat.
Yeah, obviously we don't want the driver taking a picture when he's travelling along.
Thank you. Okay, just making sure that everybody gets that.
Or the back seat of a car.
Yes.
Or if you are an avid walker and a bridge happens to go over a motorway somewhere and you stand looking,
happen to be spotting
a learner on the motorway, obviously we would accept these kind of situations as well. But road safety is at the forefront, so we don't encourage any drivers to take pictures while they're driving, of course. So get your friend, family, or anyone else. Dash cam footage is not allowed though, because I don't think it's really authentic, is it? They haven't actually gone out of their way with a camera.
That's true. Yes.
To give. We want you to stay tuned every week. Sign into the show next week to see what happens on Tuesday. Do you think we will spot a learner on the motorway in these 10 hours? Do you think so, Soto?
I'm I'm going to be spotting for sure.
You'll be spotting for sure.
Yes.
Right, so we are going to leave this podcast with you. Obviously, we want to kind of cover older drivers and obviously learner drivers on the motorway and extra training.
Please, sorry, may I interrupt?
You may interrupt.
Just make sure, all right, the elderly, you love them, you hate them, I know. They could be your mother, it could be your auntie, it could be your uncle. Just keep an eye on them and help them a bit.
You know, at the end of the day, the whole point of learning to drive or being a driver is to adopt good attitudes to road safety, and we should all look out for each other and keep our distance from everyone else. And
I got a nice example. I know that elderly, they can understand what's happening, and of course, right today, my pupil stalled somewhere.
Yeah.
Right, and of course, the elderly person behind me was calm and relaxed.
Yeah.
After we left, I apologized to her. She did the thumbs up. You know, so that's a good sign from the elderly.
Yeah.
We could do the same to the elderly.
Yeah, we could.
All right?
We could.
Okay.
We can learn a lot from older drivers as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
So keep tuned with the Spot the Learner on the Motorway.
Yes.
Ongoing saga of Swan and Soto, and look forward to next week's show.
Yeah, mate.
See you next week.
Bye.